anything else.
Okay, now Burning United here with the final pick. We're still looking for that Paris hero, and it's going to be the Paris Spirit Breaker. This is going to be the final option. And here, I guess, against heroes like Legion Commander, she's probably not going to be wanting to duel the Spirit Breaker anyway, but if she ends up doing so, it's going to be hard to bring him down, of course, with the bashes flying through.
Get bashed out of the arena very quickly.
You will do indeed. And here we go. So this could, well, Burning United, this potentially is the end of the line if they lose this one. If they can take this and bring it to a game 3, it's going to be pretty damn exciting. Let's see if Burning United can do it. And let's get ourselves ready to go here with game 2 between Burning United and Ninjas in Pyjamas. I mean, looking at the draft straight up, Synderen, who do you feel has got the edge? Who's got the stability going into this one?
I favor NiP because I think Burning United really need to execute a lot of pressure on the aim early on, and I'm not sure if they can do it in the laning stage. And that's where, even though they have a Spirit Breaker later on to be annoying, and both Ember and Quap actually have decent damage against the aim, especially with like an Orchid build for the Quap or with some good chains from Ember. I'm afraid for them that if they have like the small timing window where they need to kill Era a couple of times, and if they don't do it, I think it's just going to outfarm them and destroy them in the mid lane.
Okay, fair call, fair call. And while we're ready to go, let's do a quick run through the side. So on NiP, you're going to have Era, of course, on the anti-mage. Limp this time will be playing on the Lesh, and it's going to be Hansken on the Disruptor. Finally following them up is Jonas Fan on that solo lane Legion, and Seal Kid on the Rubik. I'm only picked, so I'm joined, of course, again by Synderen. And Synderen, give us a lowdown of what we're seeing from Burning United this game.
As you hinted earlier, it is indeed going to be Paris playing as the Spirit Breaker in the offlane as it looks. My Nuts will be playing Earthshaker, looking to start off with a little bit of a block in the top lane to begin with. Necroman onto Queen of Pain. Come with me on the 5-position Crystal Maiden, and finally Sing Sing on one of his absolute trademark heroes, the Ember Spirit. One of the absolute best players in the world in this hero, I feel. But there's, unfortunately, this hero doesn't get played so much nowadays, which is a shame. It has the potential to make some incredibly, like, very flashy moves. It's very entertaining to watch this hero when played very well. So I'm hoping for a good game from Sing just for that, so we get some highlights.
Absolutely, it'd be absolutely fantastic. And so mid lane, the Quap against the Lesh. How does this matchup kind of end up going for the both heroes?
It's one of the better lanes, or one of the harder lanes rather, for the Quap. I think Lesh can win this lane, but more than likely it will be fairly even. Both of them will be spell farming a bit, as Necroman actually goes in for a Shadow Strike, which is going to cost him a lot of health. This is what you generally don't want to do in this lane as Quap. Like, whenever you go for a Shadow Strike, if Leshrac is on point with the stun, you lose the exchange. Just raw, both mana and health, it does not favor you. So, it's actually, unless you do this,
yeah,
great rotation from the Shaker, first blood.
That's pretty big then.
Yeah, if you pull it off like that, then sure.
Yeah, he just was not expecting Minus to be there, and well, that's going to be, as you said, 1-0. And the other lanes at the moment looking pretty stable for Burden. This bottom lane, the Legion Commander against the Sing Sing Ember. Would you expect Jonas Fan to be able to hinder the amount of farm that Sing Sing gets by a lot, or is he not going to be able to do that much to stop Ember farming?
Not so much. Come With Me is sticking around here, of course, but what we could see from Jonas is that he gets a 3rd level, or puts a point and press the attack on level 3, and then he can actually just break them. And that's the good thing for him in this lane, is that they can't really kill him, and he can't really kill them. So if you're in that position as an offlaner in a 1-on-2, you're generally more than happy if they don't have an easy way of killing you. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult.
Top lane in the river. We're actually seeing Earthshaker potentially getting caught out here, walking into Hansken and Seal Kid. Still not quite hitting level 2 yet, of course, in They don't have the glimpse. We have to secure this rune and maybe be seeing a bit of a fight here as the charge is coming through onto Hansken. And here we go, straight onto the Disruptor here. Minus actually had to back up. He's already used the Fisher. Limp will find the slow with the Lightning Storm. Now he's going to turn his attention towards Paris. Look at the body block there, Seal Kid. Not going to find it. Split Earth isn't going to catch onto Necroman, so a lot of spells being thrown out, but not a lot coming out from it, as both teams do just return to their lanes.
If that stun lands to Necroman, I think he actually dies, so the Rubik would have been able to catch up to Telekinesis, and they would have had enough burst damage, I think, between the Lightning Storm and Fable to get him down there. So important for keeping his advantage in the mid lane Necroman, or I don't know if you can really call it an advantage. They got the first blood, but it went to the Shaker, and Necroman has actually not really found much farm in the lane, so I want to say this is fairly even. XP advantage at the very least.
We're going to see coming, just trying to see if he can catch out Jonas Fan, but Jonas Fan keeping it cool, keeping it safe. He's finding the XP as well so far, coming to halfway through level 3 at the 3-minute mark. Mid lane, how's it going? Well, Necroman losing out a little bit on the CS now compared to Limp, even with the fact that they got involved in that early kill. Limp still having a pretty favourable time here on the Leshrac. at the moment. There's actually a bit of a rotation coming in from Burning United. Binance trying to get himself in position, but on the high ground, Sealkid is ready and waiting. There'll be a charge onto Limp. Are they going to go for this? Looks like Paris wants to. Finds the bash, and now Necroman blinking forward. Can they bring down this Leshrac? He's taken down, and now with the follow-up Fisher, that's going to be enough.
Oh, and Paris is going to live.
He gets the sound. Necroman. So, yeah, the Spirit Breaker lives, but the Queen of Pain dies. So, it's a 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
You're generally happy with this trade when you get the experience, but the fact that they committed so many heroes to the rotation and they get a 1-for-1, I think that favors NiP. It's just way too much commitment for an even trade.
Interesting as well, Jonathan found he's made the walk towards the mid lane, so that's going to be a bit of time wasted here for the Legion. Wasn't really able to find anything, maybe seeing if he could contribute to that fight. And now minus the Sealkid, just going to look to contest the rune here, but it looks like he's not going to go in for this one. Hansken turns up as well, and NiP will be able to secure that rune. Now, it's going to be a Fisher flying out, but nothing more than a bit of an irritant.
Oh, that's a big rune. Frack really benefits from having a haste rune early on. Can get so many nukes out. I would be pretty surprised if we don't see NiP try to make use of this to get a kill. Of course, Quap not the easiest target, but he could even get a TP and look for a side lane gank at some point. Sing Sing would be a really big kill, for example.
I mean, talking about Sing Sing at the moment, SCS has been pretty much undisturbed, 30 for 13. At the same time, Era's keeping on par with the anti-mage in his respective safe lane. I mean, at the moment, you kind of feel anyone's got the edge, or do you feel both teams are finding a lot from this laning stage?
Well, the graphs are dead even. Yeah. The drafts, I feel like, are also pretty even. To me, it comes down to whether the AM gets to free farm more. Because if Sing and Era just keep trading farm, ultimately when AM gets Battle Fury, he will take over. You cannot farm as fast as an AM with Ember. You can do pretty well, but it's just not possible. So I'm more looking to see what happens in the next 5 minutes if they can find more kills here. It's just gonna...
Oh, the Fisher. Oh. It's going to be unfortunate there for the side of Burn United. They don't catch Innocent Fan on the right side. They go for it, but just a little bit off point there. Mid lane. We're going to see Rubik wrap around here. He's not going to be able to find the telekinesis as Necroman does blink away just in time. They've got the ward. He knew what was going on. They knew Rubik was in the nearby.
So they did put the haste rune to use. Very good news for Burn United. That did not result in any kill. Of course, NiP, I think they tried for the right play. Rotating Rubik in here could have definitely worked. It was either that or a TP gank from Lesh, but that is a big investment if it fails. They try the safer play.
Yeah, they might try to go for more here. Necroman blinking forward. They've got a charge forward as well coming from Paris. They've got the Fisher to catch out Lesh. Now with the Sonic Wave, they bring down the Leshrac. And now they might turn for more here. Necroman's got to run. He's not going to get away. Here's the Thunder Strike coming in from Hansken as the TP's in is enough. Now they might even find more at the side of NiP. They're going to look for minus as well as they trap him over the kinetic field. The right clicks, they're bringing him low and they're bringing him down. They get the Earthshaker too. Paris is looking for bashes. Isn't going to find them. And even though they lose the Lesh there, NiP able to find something in return.
Very, very fast in the kinetic field there, Hansken. If he had put that down like a tenth of a second later, I think Shaker actually gets out. And it was a very short range glimpse, so very impressive how quickly he combined the two spells there and securing them that kill. So it's a 3 for 3, and the farm continues. Now, the question is how useful is this team going to be? She's mainly been trying to harass Jonas in the bottom lane, has been moderately successful and jungled a bit, but she's not overtaking Disruptor or Rubik really in levels, even though she's jungling. So generally, CM just tends to not have the same impact in the mid game as a Disruptor or Rubik would. So I'm curious to see if we can get like a big freezing field out of Come With Me, for example. But there's just so many counters on an IP side.
There's a lot of ways to stop it. You know, some facts to get caught up here, but he does indeed have press the attack. He'll pop it. But now the follow-up Frostbite, holding him in place. There will be a TP reaction as a lot of pings come through as well. From Burning United just to say, we can't go for this one anymore. And NiP there keeping themselves safe. Anything Fan's going to be fine. But he's out of mana, so he's not going to be able to do anything for the time being in terms of aggression. And Sing Sing still looking good in terms of farm, keeping on par with Era. And the game just continues to be at a very kind of even state between these two sides.
Yeah. Still feel like that favors NiP, as I mentioned earlier. I think they're actually dragging a little bit ahead over the last few minutes. They're finding a bit more farm. Lesh is still pretty far ahead of the Corp in the mid lane. Oh, nice fissure up here from Nuts, but not really going to result in anything.
Enough to stop the bullets coming through, so they weren't able to catch out Paris. But even that, I mean, Paris is pretty tanky. I don't know if they'd have the damage. They had a mana void available. But,
I think he would have died. It was definitely good of him to show up, but they wasted a secondary TP from Come With Me on that, so cost them a little bit. But yeah, Lesh is really far ahead of Quap, actually. This is a fairly low amount of CS for Quap to have at minute 8. He's got 25 to the 45 of Lesh. So almost doubling up. Of course, there's a bit of jungle stacks going into that equation as well, but you know, Quap has some of her own that she might need to claim soon at the large camp close to the Radiant bottom tier 2. And that's the biggest discrepancy in gold. As we talked about, pretty much toe-to-toe between AM and the Ember, and the offlaners, I guess, alright, Paris actually has 0 CS, whereas Jonas has 16, so there's a little bit extra there as well.
Innocence fans found a bit, and they're going to smoke up here. He's hit level 6 here, wanting to make the most of his duel. If they can find a lead in with the telekinesis, they can try and go for it. Minus, let's come out here in the mid lane. Innocent fan and Silkid, where are they going to go? Looks like they are going to head towards mid, maybe see if they can catch out this Earthshaker. It's going to be quite a tricky one to do so here. Minus. He's going to keep it safe, or is he going to go back in for more? Is he going to go greedy here? It could cost him his life. Silkid's moving in. They're going to try and find the telekinesis. They are going to get it. Jonas and Fan moving forward, and he's ready to go here with the duel onto Minus. He'll find the kill there with the help from Limp, and that's going to be some duel damage. 9 minutes in there for the Legion Commander.
It's something we see so many times when Legion Commander gets picked, that there's like no duel victories at minute like 20. So it's very important for Jonas to get a good start and get some momentum in the game. Good static storm from Hanskin.
Yeah, it's going to allow Hanskin to get himself out.
Wow, that's a really good,
anything out there.
Very good defensive play.
The Sonic Wave was potentially there. And now, well, thinks he's going to walk into
setting a trap.
And he is. I mean, there's 3 of them here. Straight away the telekinesis. They got the follow-up split off as well. Can Sing get him out of this? No, he can't. It's too much damage. They do find a return kill here with the Sonic Wave. And the question is, can Necroman look for more? There's going to be a charge onto Limp. Maybe they can find the kill onto the Leshrac as well here. Perhaps he's going to leave this one through. He's not quite his
not.
No, he says, no, I haven't none of that. And now Limp, well, turning around with the Lightning Storm. Onto with me. And now the Glimpse as well. They can look for this. They've got a duel here as well. Is this going to be more duel damage for the Legion? It is. An extra 10 damage going to Jonas and Fan. I've got to say 10 minutes in as well. Legion Commander, this is looking good here for the old Jonas and Fan.
He's got 120 damage already on his hero. That's easily more than anyone else in the game, by quite a margin even. He hits very, very hard, and it bodes well for their mid-game. When he gets off to a start like this, we might reach a point when he can almost solo Sing Sing, for example, since Ember is a very fragile hero and Flame Guard doesn't save you at all from the duel. So it's got to be concerning for Burden, especially when Sing gets involved, and the AM has more success in his involvement, and he's still doing very well in farm. When's he going to have that battle fury? It's going to be pretty fast one for Era. Of course, he did go Treads as his build-up, Treads as well as Basti, so looking maybe at minute 13 with that build-up, still pretty good.
Oh, well, top lane. They might want to do something here about the anti-base. They're smoked up.
That's going to take longer. Minute 15 maybe, but still.
Era is blinking away as well, just proving a little bit too difficult to catch out. Maybe they continue to live for this one. Sing Sing moving forward, come with me. Wants to try and find the initiation, they'll drop down the ward, but again, Era just blinking away. Proving to be a little bit too hard for Burden United to catch out. As Silkid here picking up some levels in the mid lane, trying to find himself that level 6, as he has been given the space to do so here for level 5. But still, as you said, the farm just looking slightly better for the side of NiP at this point of the game.
And they keep gaining, that's the other thing. Like, even if Burden are also getting their farm, they're just consistently finding less. And the Spirit Breaker offlane that they had has found 1 assist at 12 minutes in, whereas the Legion Commander has found 2. And generally, Spirit Breaker is really good at setting up kills, but they just haven't had what it took. And I feel like more than anything, the Crystal Maiden really hasn't paid any dividends yet. She's not even got an assist minute 12. She didn't really counter the Legion Commander at all in lane, so...
Oh, here we go. That's a free kill there for the side of Burden United, leading him with the Fisher. The follow-up damage is a lot. And
he's going to try for that duel. That is not good. He's not going to win it, I think.
He's got the static storm on the spinner.
He did win it.
They get the kill.
They get the kill, yeah.
Don't get the duel, they might find a double. They do. They get the come with me there as well, as CM's brought back into it. Hanscam will get caught out there by the side of Burden United, so be you able to find something in trade? As a TP from Aaron, he wants blood, he wants to find something from this fight. Minus holding in place now with the bashes. This could be unfortunate for Aaron. Can they blow him up? No, he's able to blink himself away. And they'll lose Paris here, and Sing Sing is the only one left alive for the side of Burden United. And Aaron blinking forward, maybe wanting to go for this one. The Searing Chains will hold him back though. And Sing Sing will escape, but well, Burden United losing 4 heroes there. Not a healthy fight for the side of the Radiant.
Oh, easy enough. Even finds a region. That's just perfect for Era. It's like nothing happened. He just joined, got a kill, he got an assist. He's back to farming. He's still almost 100 CS now, minute 13, while having ganked 2 or 3 times. That is looking really, really solid for him. And once again, the supports of NiP just seem to get more done, right?
Well, they might be able to do something about Unison Fan here. They have got Paris around on the Spirit Breaker. He hasn't got the Nether Strike. He's going to look for the Lucky Bashes here. Unison Fan, well, he's just going to try and run, and he's going to be able to get away with it as well. Just not having the control there to deal with this Legion Commander there as a pair, the Earthshaker and the Spirit Breaker.
And this farm discrepancy just keeps on growing. Like, if Burden are looking for fights like this, and then they better find some better exchanges than this, because I don't know if they know they're getting out-farmed, but they probably got a pretty good feeling that at least the Lesh is out-farming the Co-op. As far as what AM's farm is, it's hard for them to assess with his involvement in fights, but it's not going to be enough this way. They have to, I think they have to keep trying to find fights, and they just need to execute better.
Sing's pretty deep. He has spotted out Hanskin, of course. He's going to walk into Limp, and he's been thunderstruck. Can they find the glimpse here to follow up as well? They're going to slow with the Lightning Storm. They're looking to catch it out. They'll get the glimpse into Static Storm. The Jewels there as well, and more damage into the pocket of Jonas and Fan. And maybe they'll find themselves more kills. Arrow's moving forward. The Fisher will hold him back, but he's going to have the blink. He doesn't use it. He just blows up the Sienna with Malavoid. Minus gets the Echo Slammer, but it's not enough to kill anyone. Double kill for Arrow. 3 heroes down on Burden United, and NiP lose nothing there in the mid lane.
And they win another duel. 30 damage now on Legion Commander, minute 14. They're going to lose the tower as well. By the looks of it, if Era gets this last hit, it's going to be his Battle Fury as well. And yeah, there we go.
Middle tower has fallen.
So as you said, I mean, pretty respectable.
Around 15, which
we tread classy.
I was thinking back to, lane creeps are just creeps in general are worth a bit less now, so of course the Battle Fury timings of old, if you're just free farming, you could probably add about a minute to the actual timing, so this compared to an old, this is a guess, I'm not 100% sure on the actual value, but maybe this compares to an old 1330 Battle Fury with treads, which is a really good timing. Back then, most AMs with complete free farm, you would get boots Battle Fury at like minute 10 to 11 if you had a really good game. Yeah, Trez Battle Fury around 13, so he is definitely on par with a really good time.
Yeah, definitely. When you said faction and the reduced creep cost, and the fact obviously you've got to buy the quelling blade here as well. But I guess most
that's true.
Have it anyway.
But you generally buy
have it anyway. But 6 for 13 at the moment, and NiP looking in a very strong position. Era at the moment 7,000 net worth, 4.8k is the closest. For Sing here on the side of Burden United.
Dyer's
and
top tower
as you said, Ember is Sing's hero. Maybe he can come out with the plays, and we can still see a team fight taking the favour of the side of Burden United. But so far, it's certainly proven difficult for them to come out on top against NiP.
The problem is I look at Ember as a hero that has 2 peaks in the game.
Okay.
The first is when you get level 4 Flame Guard and you're mobile and you have your first combat item, which is the drums for him this game. He went phase drums, which is a really, really good combat build. Your hero is so ridiculously strong right then. Level 4 Flame Guard, some points in Searing Chains, and maybe 1 or 2 in Slight, and then else just the Fire Remnant. You have ridiculous damage output, incredible mobility, and the enemy team generally doesn't have enough burst to bring you down at that point. That peak is almost passed now, and he found 1 kill and 1 assist in that time. That's where a lot of Embers sometimes just take over the game, and then his second peak is super late game, but at this rate they're not getting there. That's when he just really starts cleaving with maybe double Battle Fury and Daedalus or something with that ridiculous damage output. At this rate, they're going to lose the map before he gets to that point.
Paris is going to look for Seal Kid. He's got the Nether Strike as well. He needs a couple of bashes. There we go. He's going to find them there. And he does get the kill onto the Rubik. Limp finds the slow with the Lightning Storm. They've got the Thunder Strike as well. Do they want to glimpse this one back? Do they want to look to try and fight it? They're going to go for it. Eros there. The Partyman gets dropped down, but Sing's turn. And this time it's Burden United are looking to go on the offensive. They find Hansken. Can they find anything more? Limp's trying to fight into this. The Echo Slam holds him in place. Jonas and Fan looking to duel up. Come with me. But Come with me's not going to die in this duel. He'll be able to get the Frostbite off. He still goes down there. Jonas and Fan gets the final hit through. It ends up being a 2 for 2. The question being, is anything else going to come of this one? Arrow moving towards the mid lane. Nah, he doesn't blink in the direction of Minus. Jonas and Fan potentially looking for a wrap round, and they haven't got vision of him, and Minus will be able to get himself out. So, well, they do lose the Ember, and they might lose Paris here. Jonas and Fan blinking in very aggressively here, and can he find this one? Yes, he can. It's another kill there for Jonas and Fan here on the Legion Commander, ensuring that the trade goes 3 for 2, and NiP come out on top.
Yeah, NiP are just, once again, they're just outplaying them in the fights. Even though Burden got the free kill more or less on the Disruptor going in, they still they flank with the Lesh, they have a lot of damage. The Blink duel, although the Legion doesn't win the duel, takes out CM take CM out of the fight entirely. And it's kind of weird to see, but Singh died with the Ember while having 3 fire remnants available. He had 3 charges, so either he lost all his mana maybe to the AM, or he just missed time. But it's very uncharacteristic for him to not have the mana management, especially when he itemized for it. He has a bottle and drum. That's you get these items so you can use multiple remnants in the fights. Yeah, that is juicy for Era. He even already has the Vlads. He got that almost instantly after his Battle Fury because of another successful fight. And with this stack, the Manta style, probably not more than a few minutes away. I just look at the CS numbers now. He was neck and neck with Ember. Now he's 60 CS ahead all of a sudden.
It's a massive, massive jump for the side of NiP, and he's just going to farm aggressively now. He's got no fear at all from the side of Burden United. And things will come out, and it looks like they will notice him here. Can they do anything to stop him? There's going to be a charge as well. They want to do something about this, and they do have all 5 heroes fairly close. The Fish is not going to connect, though, and Era, yeah, he's going to be fine. Blink's behind the tower. They don't want to follow through with that one. And it's going to be very hard to kill the anti-mage now at this point.
Yep. This is what I mentioned pre-game that I was scared of for burning. Sorry, I was looking at AM. It's just a natural thing to say, right? I was scared of that for Burden, that they wouldn't manage to shut down the anti-mage at all with their laning stage. They didn't even go aggressive against him, so he free-farmed. And then NiP get 1 or 2 good fights, and he just pulls way too far ahead. This is a very stereotypical good AM performance and good AM draft. Burden United, they have been on both sides of this. They played an AM earlier in this tournament where Sing Sing got to free farm and won in a pretty similar fashion, so they knew what they were dealing with. They just didn't deal with it.
Well, yeah, he's just going to back up here. He's not too phased by the CM. I mean, Burden United, what's the plan? Well, it's to avoid being caught out by this, because Jonas and Fan and Sealkid coming in with the smokes towards the mid lane. Maybe see if they can find a jump onto someone. Find some more tasty dual bonus damage here for the Legion Commander. And here we go, towards the middle of the moment. You've got both Necroman and Come With Me out at the moment. Yes, and Van, he's going to be able to catch out here with the blink. Ooh, he blinks into the lane.
Radiant's bottom tower has
not going to find anyone today, as Burden United are able to create the gap between themselves.
1 to many, many to 1. Dire's
and Arrow just keeps farming the enemy jungle. This gap is growing every minute, and it's starting to look like the stereotypical NiP games we've seen so far in this tournament that they've won, where they get a good early game, they get ahead, and they just drain the map of resources. Burden, they're looking to try to accomplish something at the top tier 1 tower, and they might get it, but the question is what it's going to cost them. It looks like Roshan will be the absolute minimum trade here, so there's no way they can make it there on time. Now, who do you give the Aegis to? I think Leshrac is a really good Aegis carrier, but so is Anti-Mage. It will be more or less impossible for Burden to kill him twice. But Lesh can just output so much damage with that and get in full mana, of course. Looks like they will give it to Arrow, judging from inventory size.
And indeed, looks like they've got no intentions of contesting this Burden United. They'll give it to Arrow, indeed. And they just continue to try and push this top lane Burden United, desperately trying to find something in return for what NiP are getting from the map. But as we saw from the graph, it's coming up to about a 12,000 net worth difference between the sides. It's certainly very sizable, and after that it's going to tick over even more, just 21 minutes into the game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's a very sizable lead. They have a 500 GPM lead. We're at 21. And a lot of that is distributed onto the AN, who is soon doubling up the net worth of the Emperor Spirit if it continues this way.
He remnants into the Static Storm, and it will get blown up by the Mana Void. That's 2 heroes dropping on the side of Burden United. They might lose 3 as well as Minus. He's left all alone here. He's just trying to look to see if he can get himself in position for an Echo Slam. He looks for the TV, but the Glimpse will be there to cancel it. There's your Echo Slam. It doesn't do an awful lot. It's causing a little bit of an issue, but let's just be able to find this one. They're trying to give the jewel to Jonas and Fan, and there we go. He finds it. More damage for the Legion Commander. 44 bonus damage now, and again Burden United losing 3 heroes and taking nothing from the side of Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And Jonas is very close to BKB as well. This is a very successful Legion Commander game, which I feel like is pretty rare nowadays. A lot of the time it just seems very underwhelming, but they've definitely made it work in this game. With the BKB, he can pick any target and he will win the duel. Either he will kill them, or just with any sort of I think he can solo the CM. He can maybe even solo the Ember. It's pretty close, at least, if he gets a couple of lucky moments of courage. And well, what do you do if you're Burden then? He picks a target, locks it down. It will ultimately be killed by something, and their team fights just aren't being executed well enough. They're far away from the blink dagger from Minus, which is maybe coming back. Yeah,
I mean, straight away, the duel.
Death again.
It just destroys him immediately. There's going to be the glimpse on to come with me as well, being brought back down the mid. He'll go down as it's a double kill for Era. And, I mean, at this point, NiP, they're just destroying Burden United.
Burden look like a team that have more or less just given up with their movements. It looks like they're not really communicating anymore. They're just playing... They're playing 5 individual heroes rather than playing as a team. That's what it feels like when you watch it. In the start of the game, they play way more organized and had way more structure in their movements, and now it seems completely arbitrary almost how they're moving across the map, which it's got to be demoralizing after game 1 when they saw how they definitely had a shot in that game. Now they're just kind of... They lost all the momentum that they had in game 1 and definitely carried over some negative momentum into game 2, if you will.
I mean, well, 24 minutes in, we're seeing the highest net worth, doubling the highest net worth is the side of Burden United. The fact that you see Era coming up to 16k, it's a crazy amount of farm for this anti-mage, which he's pretty much had entirely free fight for the entire game. He hasn't died at all, and 226 CS as well. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount for this anti-mage.
It's not going to... I don't see what they can really do to shut him down. He even has the Aegis, so... Should they accomplish a kill on him, it's very unlikely that NiP will not have the time to reinforce and reset the fight. In the best case scenario, that they kill AM and get an Aegis out of it. And at the end of the day, that's kind of a net gain of 0. So they have to just let Era farm for a bit. And what are they relying on? Ember is still... Sing's farm, considering he's wall 5, is pretty good, actually. I haven't heard of 41 CS at this point. It's not too bad, but...
Era blinking forward here. He wants to find Minuts, and Minuts can try and run. He's not got the blink, of course. They're seeing on 1300 gold at the moment. Throws out an Echo Slam. Trying to stop this animation, but I won't be surprised Era just continues to go for it. Yeah, blinks forward, really wants to fight it. And in fact, Jonas and Fan gets there in time for the duel. More damage for the Legion Commander. And more kills for the side of NiP. Sing getting caught out. They've got the perfect timing there with the split up. The telekinesis to hold him in place. Sing goes down. Necromad jumps forward. He pops the BKB. It's not going to keep him alive there from the physical damage and limp. And this is 3 heroes now sitting on the sidelines for Burden United. And at 24-8, this it's becoming a little bit one-sided, this match here, Cinderin.
Yeah, now they've almost got 1,000 gold per minute lead, which is... At 25 minutes, I can't remember if I saw a stat at some point, which is that a team has never lost with 1k GPM lead at minute 20 to 25 or something. Or at least it's ridiculously rare. Less than 1 out of 1,000. So we need a miracle for Burden here.
They really do.
I think the only way I really imagined it was with a really great Echo Slam from Minus, but he's decided to play 2 Bracers instead.
Oh, I mean, the AM Illusion's just going in there onto the CM to help the overwhelming odds. That's the kill. The throw out the Fisher. Thinks he's trying to do what he can, but he just doesn't have any damage at this point to deal with one up here. We've got Jonas and Fan just jumps straight in with the duel onto Sing. He should be able to find that one, and indeed he does. Wins the duel. Now with the mana onto the quad. That's another kill. And, well, GG is called. NiP, they do it. And they're, of course, making themselves to tomorrow. They're going to be part of the final 4 teams that we're going to see. It is going to be Alliance, Na'Vi, VP, and finally NiP. And Burden United, well, Cinderin, it is unfortunately for them the end of the road.
Yeah, NiP were just pretty much, at least in the second game, they just outclassed them. In game 1, Burden showed some